All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So in this one, I really wanted to pose a question to you. Typically, the question's black or white. You either need one or you don't. But I feel like with the 2021 New York Jets specifically, it goes further. It goes deeper than just a simple yes or no. I've seen arguments on both sides, okay, and both have valid points. The question is, do you think the Jets should go out and add a veteran backup quarterback? Let's dive in. So if you're in favor for the Jets signing one of these veteran quarterbacks, the list is starting to slim down, okay? That's just the time period that we're in. By the way, we're almost a month away from the NFL draft. Think about how crazy that is for just a second. But we're past the first couple of waves of free agency. We're starting to see this list of available quarterbacks go. Tyrod Taylor in Houston. Joe Flacco, ex-Jet last season, is now a member of the Eagles. The number one backup quarterback that I wanted, CJ Beathard, just signed a 2-year contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Even those swing guys like Andy Dalton, who can be a starter or he can be a backup, he's off the board as well. So we're looking at this list. We have guys like Alex Smith. He's been a really popular one. Blaine Gabbert, AJ McCarron, RG3, a possible Geno Smith connection. Who knows? We'll see. I doubt it, but it could happen. Blake Bortles is an option. AJ McCarron, maybe Brett Hundley, but I feel like right now the guy that's most popular amongst Jets fans, and rightfully so, is Nick Mullens. Nick Mullens is still out there. He is still available. I mean, you look at what Mullens could potentially be bringing to the Jets table. I mean, right off the bat, you have that Mike LaFleur connection. Mullens knows exactly what the Jets want to accomplish on offense because he's played in the same exact system for the past couple of seasons. He's spent his entire NFL career, his young NFL career, with San Francisco in this West Coast style of system. He's been a backup quarterback before, so it's not like he's going to be coming in, stepping into the locker room and ruffling feathers. He good size, 6'1". I think he's over 200 pounds. And he's shown in the past he can step in and win games, deliver accurate passes, have command of an offense. Now, he's not the best quarterback out there. He's not one of the top guys with crazy amounts of potential, 12 touchdowns, 12 INTs last season in 8 games. But he's been that reliable backup for San Francisco, a guy that, when all hell breaks loose, when Jimmy Garoppolo goes down with an injury that, I feel like happens every single season, you can put Nick Mullens in the game, and it's not like the game is completely over, right? He does give you a fighting chance. And I feel like if you look at that and you match that with his knowledge of the offensive system already, and then you're looking at whoever's going to be starting for this team, whether it's Zach Wilson sticking with Sam Darnold, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, you can help. Now Mullens can now help bring those guys along. So I think it makes a lot of sense. The only drawback with Nick Mullens is that he's hurt. Nick Mullens is hurt. He's dealing with a ligament issue in his throwing arm in the elbow, the UCL to be specific, right? That's the ligament that's involved with all of the Tommy John stuff. So you instantly have questions about Mullens. No, I mean, the first question, is Nick Mullens healthy? If not, when is he going to be healthy? When he does get healthy, is he even going to be the same quarterback? Or are we just bringing him in because he has, he's familiar with the system? But if that's the case, if you're only bringing in a backup quarterback for his knowledge, essentially, then just go sign Chase Daniel. Then go sign 43-year-old Josh McCown. I love Uncle Josh. So the jury is still out on Mullens. I mean, who knows? Maybe he is 1,000% ready to roll by the time camp rolls around and he doesn't lose any arm power at all. And he has the full green light. But there still is a lot of haze. There's a lot of smoke surrounding the entire situation. Now, if you're against bringing in one of these veteran quarterbacks, you probably mentioned the name James Morgan multiple times. What happened to James Morgan, the 4th-round pick that was made by Joe Douglas last season out of FIU? I've always felt like 4th-round picks they're almost in a lose-lose because it's essentially no man's land for rookie quarterbacks, for young quarterbacks, because you're not being picked in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd round where you're expected to be the franchise quarterback, where you're expected to save the franchise, but you're also not being picked late enough where there's no expectation. You're kind of in that middle ground where you're being picked ahead of some really, really good players, and you're expected to contribute, but you're not expected to be the starter. So it's just strange. It's a wacky situation. It's tricky because as fans, we have no closure about James Morgan whatsoever. We don't know how he would have looked in preseason. We don't know how he looked in practice. We don't know how well he was picking up the offense under Adam Gase. We don't know anything about this guy. He's just an enigma enigma at this point. And you could be saying to yourself, well, hey, we picked him in the 4th round. Joe Douglas, a guy that puts so much emphasis on the draft, selected Morgan in the 4th round and passed up on a lot of really, really good players. There must be a plan. There must be a plan for James Morgan. So I don't know what it is, but of course you could be looking at the situation and saying, are we just going to be giving up on Morgan after one rookie season where he never played? We didn't get a single snap of Morgan at all. And then, of course, I've seen this idea being floated around too, where we select, let's just say Zach Wilson in spot number 2. We draft a new quarterback with that 2nd overall pick, but we keep Sam Darnold on the roster, and he's essentially the backup quarterback throughout camp, throughout preseason, and maybe halfway, like up until the trade deadline, and then we deal Darnold and try to get a 2nd round pick or a 1st round pick in return for Sam after spending a lot of time on the bench. And who knows what happens around the league as far as like injuries and whatnot are concerned. Like the first thing that comes to mind is the Sam Bradford trade that happened a couple years ago with the Eagles and the Vikings. And I mean, you can even think back to Teddy Bridgewater when he was a member of the Jets. We signed him, cheap contract, like no big deal, wasn't really expected to be the starting quarterback. And then we trade him right before the season starts to the New Orleans Saints and get a 3rd round pick. So it's like a free 3rd round pick. So I've seen that idea floated around out there as well. But for me personally, I think I'm bringing in a veteran quarterback, and I think at the end of the day, that's what the Jets will do as well. If I had to guess which quarterback it will be, I'm going to say a toss-up between Nick Mullens, Alex Smith, and I also think Blaine Gabbert's a possibility because Blaine Gabbert still has a really quick release. He does have a powerful arm, and he's spent some time within the Kyle Shanahan offense as well. So if the Jets, Mike LaFleur, Joe Douglas, if they're kind of weary on the whole elbow situation with Mullens, if they think Alex Smith is too old or they have concerns about his leg, or the fact that Alex Smith still views himself as a starting quarterback in the league and they don't want somebody coming in and trying to compete for the starting job, they just kind of want that veteran mentor style of quarterback behind the scenes, helping along whoever may be playing quarterback for the team next year, Darnold, Wilson, Lance, Fields, whoever. So I think Gabbert's the guy to keep your eye on. As we all know, Flacco won't be back. He's in Philadelphia. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But who knows? At the end of the day, they could roll with Morgan. But when it's all said and done, I'm going to say that the Jets bring in Blaine Gabbert. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Would you like a veteran quarterback, or do you think we should just pass and roll with Morgan as that backup spot? So thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.